In the late 1960s, Eric Clapton was already something of a guitar legend, having already played with the Yardbirds, John Mayall and the Bluesbreakers, Cream, and Blind Faith. Around this time, he became close friends with George Harrison of the Beatles. Clapton had always admired the Beatles, and by 1968, he and Harrison had grown close enough that Clapton was invited to play lead guitar on While My Guitar Gently Weeps on the White Album. The Beatles were quite self-contained, so it wasn't common for other artists to have such a significant role in a recording. So that invitation was a huge deal and a sign of trust in Clapton's guitar playing. Through Harrison, Clapton was pulled into the social orbit of the Beatles, intimate gatherings, jam sessions, late-night hangouts, and spiritual retreats. That's where he met Pattie Boyd, Harrison's wife since 1966. She was elegant, artistic, and had a kind of effortless cool that made her a muse to many. She had already inspired Harrison's Something, one of the Beatles' most beloved love songs. Between Clapton's tenure in Cream and Blind Faith, he fell madly in love with her, despite her being married to his good friend. He tried to fight the feelings, but it got to a point where he couldn't hide it anymore. Layla became the desperate, passionate embodiment of his obsession with Pattie. Clapton found solace and meaning in a 12th century Persian poem called Layla and Majnun by Namazi Ganjavi. The story is about a young man named Kais who falls deeply in love with a girl named Layla. Her parents forbid their love, and Kais goes mad from longing, becoming known as Majnun, which translates to madman. Clapton saw his own experience reflected in this tale. Pattie was his Layla, and he was the desperate Majnun. When making the song, Clapton was also working on a new project at the time, a band called Derek and the Dominos. They were in Miami recording with legendary producer Tom Dowd. Dowd introduced Clapton to Duane Allman of the Allman Brothers Band, another guitar virtuoso. The two clicked instantly. Allman contributed that wailing slide guitar riff at the beginning of Layla, which became one of the most iconic in rock history. Over time, the song became one of the most respected and emotional rock ballads of all time. Rolling Stone ranked it 27th of the 500 greatest songs ever made. In 1993, the acoustic unplugged version of the song won a Grammy for Best Rock Song. Throughout the 70s, Clapton made several more aimless advances toward Pattie Boyd. Actor John Hurt recalls that once at Friar Park in England, George Harrison and Eric Clapton had essentially staged a guitar duel over Pattie Boyd, and Pattie Boyd supports this narrative. Eventually, George Harrison and Pattie Boyd divorced in 1977, and shortly after, in 1979, Clapton married her while on a concert stop in Tucson, Arizona. Harrison was not bitter about the whole thing, and he even attended the wedding with Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. During their relationship, Clapton wrote another song for her which turned into a hit, and that song was Wonderful Tonight. The relationship did not survive Clapton's individual struggles in the 80s, and they divorced in 1989. Despite the unsuccessful marriage, the relationship is legendary, as it birthed two of Clapton's greatest songs, one of them being among the greatest rock songs ever made.